Welcome, Taurus. We're doing an energy reading for you today. It is a general reading, so always trust yourself on what resonates, leave what does not. Big welcome to those that are new to my channel, those that follow me regularly, love your support. And this reading is wherever Taurus is in your birth chart, sun, moon, rising sign. And if you're cross-watching, big welcome. Now, we'll just let you know I've just reopened my personal readings. They have been closed for quite some time. They're probably just going to be open for June. So if you do want to get a personal reading with me, there's limited spots available. Booking link is going to pop up here as well as down below. Let's dive in. So first up, Taurus, we're going to have a look at a central energy for you. We're also going to pull some energies around situations you may be moving through, guidance around that. Oh, you got a message to cherish every moment. So live in the present moment. Feel the beauty of life, the joy of life. So not trying to consistently push yourself forward or future pace yourself. How could you be more present? And you've also got the chamber of intimacy. So there's a need to look at your romantic relationships, and Spirit's saying look through your heart eyes versus taking a very logical approach where you're more in the mind versus your feeling level. And plant a seed of love. So there's possibly something new that you want to kick off. It could be a hobby. It could be all sorts of things. Okay. You've also got assurance in the self. And Spirit's saying you're better than you think you are. So if you feel like you need to do this big healing journey, or you've been on a healing journey, Spirit's saying you're already almost in this beautiful state of wholeness and balance. So you don't need to continue feeling like you're not healed. Spirit's saying you are. Okay. Kind of got a double message there. There is a need for you to bask in silence away from the energies of others, which could be about you seeking your internal truth. And there was just another message about you enjoying life, really, which has come through twice. Amp this up with some crystals. Let's pull you some guidance that will balance out these energies. Oh, you got Azurite, which is focus. Now, this is directly related to you looking at your love relationships and your connections with others. So it's almost like asking you, what is your focus when you get into love relationships? Are you looking at it from a very practical point of view? Are you also able to look at it from an emotional point of view? Are you making connections that are where you're emotionally available? What is your focus when it comes to love relationships? And you got petrified wood, which is past life embrace. Some of you maybe possibly got some karmic imprints that you've been addressing. Working your way through them. Oh, and you got carnelian. Have a look at that. It's gorgeous energy. It's all about your creative side. So maybe in that silent time, you want to be working on some hobbies and things that bring you a sense of joy. You've got moonstone, which is the mother goddess, which is feeling that beautiful sense of love and support. Some of you may need to heal a mother wound or have been healing a mother wound, which is kind of our sense of feeling safe and protected, nurtured, loved. So you might want to ask yourself, in love relationships, did you have caregivers, if we go all the way back to childhood, did you have caregivers that were openly loving and affectionate? Or did they kind of like have this very practical side to them? And, you know, it wasn't safe to show emotions, or they didn't show a lot of emotions. That would be interesting to reflect on. All right, let's have a look at some inner truths here. Things you may need to face. Okay, some of you is finding and seeking your true purpose. It may even be like, if we had a look at it in terms of, we're going to have a look at it in two aspects. One about love, one about planting the seeds of creation. We had a look at it in love. It's almost like, well, where do I fit in when it comes to a love relationships? Because I know that, you know, particularly with the masculine, there's such a change in roles these days. You know, there's a lot of women that are self-sufficient that don't need a man to look after them financially. They've got their own home. They maybe bring kids up by themselves, particularly if you separate and divorce, that kind of thing. So how do you fit into that if you're known to be in a traditional masculine role, or you grew up in a traditional masculine role? How do you walk side by side with someone? Now, the feminine, I mean, we can just, we can kind of read the same message into that, but we're kind of flipping it, particularly watch control if you're a feminine, trying to control situations versus being heart-centered. Now, if we looked at it in terms of your passions and things, possibly there's definitely something new you might want to kick off. Oh, there's a need for you to hold your center right now and feel very grounded. It's almost like Spirit saying you're exactly where you need to be right now. Okay, there is a situation where you need to reflect, observe, and wait. Now, you are basking in silence here. It could be about something creative you want to kick off or start. Or you're ending a karmic cycle. You're ending a karmic cycle of feeling unsupported and unsafe. So more grounded, more nourished. That's beautiful. So you've definitely healed a part of self, or are healing a part of self. Let's have a look at your energy. Firstly, we're having a focus on your love relationships here and your connection to love. Oh, Spirit's saying you are going to have a breakthrough here. The sun's going to come out. It's almost like you're going to have a big aha moment. Some of you have been experiencing financial constraints or worrying about money. I don't know if that's holding you back in love. And Spirit's saying you're the magician. It's up to you to change things in your life. And Spirit's saying instead of worrying about money, just live in the present moment. Appreciate where you are. Often we can project fears into the future. You're worrying about whether or not people are going to judge you in love relationships based on your finances. Spirit's saying don't do that. Let's have a look at you cherishing every moment, creating a new seed of love in your life. Okay. Definitely been through situations where the heart has been hurt. So experiences that have really kind of made you tentative about love, maybe put you more into the thinking brain versus the emotional side of self. There's some kind of contract here. Now, it could be a karmic contract that you're ending. It could be a new contract coming in related to love and abundance. And you're at a crossroads here. Two pathways to take, not sure which pathway to go. Have a look at this broken heart. Okay, some of you it's related to a physical injury or illness you've gone through, which has been a bit debilitating. You are coming out the other side of that. And instead of getting in this state of indecision and overthinking things, Spirit's saying step back when you're like that and take some rest. You need to clear your mind. Let's have a look at where Spirit's saying you're actually doing better than you think you are. Certainly some past life karmic imprints playing out here, and you just need to hold your center. Oh, you've got a lot of strength within you. Whatever you've gone through has created a lot of strength and resilience. Just be mindful you haven't placed a lot of walls around yourself. You want love. Spirit's saying it's up to you to open up that door to love. And there is a storm brewing here. Okay, why is there a storm? Oh, it's related to love. Okay, you got the angel of love. Okay, why is there a storm there? Okay, some kind of hostilities. Sitting behind that. That's the energies of others. So why is hostilities there? Spirit's saying you'll have victory over it. So if somebody's projecting energy towards you, how do we negate that? Maybe it's someone you're connecting with. If it's somebody new, you'd kind of have red flags going off left, right, and center if you've only just met them and they're being hostile. That's not someone you want to be in a love relationship with. So how do you stand there and become unbothered by someone's behavior and go, well, that's great. Not on the same page with you there. Nice to know you. Possibly not going to go that way, darlings. No. Oh, don't allow someone to project onto you. Let's have a look at you tapping into your creative side here. Okay, you might want to join a community group, a hobby, something that interests you, that's going to allow you to connect with others, part of your healing journey. And you've got man holding a coin here. Guys, definitely a focus on your financial security and stability. Somebody may want to give you a gift of money. It kind of feels like it could be a father for some of you. And Spirit's saying you got to trust your heart to guide you. Just be mindful. I'm just going to say, I'm going to give this message specifically to the girls. Just be mindful of somebody that wants to get your attention, that's waving their money in your face, as if that's the golden ticket to being with them. Watch that. Because you've got to work out whether or not that person's actually got anything else to offer. Do you have a true connection? Because that could be an empty calories, darlings, in terms of feeling. Might look good on the surface, but is it going to be an emotional connection? All right, let's have a look at you taking some quiet time for self and reflecting here. Oh, it's directly related to your finances and your sense of security and stability. We're saying there's lots of doors you can open that are going to help you with that. Oh, there's a big warning running through. Those of you that are not in a great financial position, don't be going and opening up the door to love to think that somebody's going to boost you up with their finances, because that's not a win-win situation. What happens with that? Well, you end up probably being separated and divorced because you didn't marry the person for the right reason. You get real tired of them because you're not attracted to them or whatever else is going on there. Don't do that to yourself. Some of you need to hear that message. You could ignore me and go down that path. Go down that path. Go down it. Oh, it'll just be another life lesson. You got the world at your feet. The time of expansion and growth. So some of you have got a bit of limited thinking here. Now, you may want to do something to travel. Let's have a look at you ending this karmic cycle, which is possibly feeling a bit unsupported. Possibly a mother wound here. Yeah, you're absolutely bringing yourself into balance, but mostly it's more about you connecting to your emotional side, your heart space. There's still attachments you need to release, holding you stuck. Some of you, taking a trip, solo trip, would be amazing for you, Spirit saying. It's going to be a period of self-discovery. And following a temple path, your spiritual side, is also going to help you release these attachments, which is putting you in higher vibration. Some guidance from the tarot. Okay, this is directly related to your relationships. Something to learn here, something to study here that's going to help you have a bit of a breakthrough there. Now, if it's related to your finances, there could be, there's a coin there behind her. If it's not related to that and it's related to your finances, there's possibly something new you want to learn that's going to put you on a different path, going to help your financial situation. And some of you are focusing on the negative, the spilt cup. So it's almost like if we talk about love. Oh, I keep trying and trying, it's not working for me. Yeah, there's a bit of a blockage going on there because you're not emotionally connected. So are you able to make emotional connections with people? You're going into situations for the wrong reasons, or just going into love situations too logical. Which might be why there's a person down here who's going to lose their SHIT. Because they're going like, what the hell? Yeah, that approach has created conflict in your life. It hasn't served you. You may have dealt with someone who is very conflictual, right, which may have made you feel like it was unsafe for you to express your emotions. Like you might have tried to, and when you did, they shut you down, and not in a great way. And that could also have happened when you grew up. So how can you feel safe being open and vulnerable and emotional in a love relationship? You've got to be with the right person for a start. It's going to help you open that side of yourself up, where you feel safe and supported. Again, you got the world. Spirit's saying you need to get out of this pattern. It's time for expansion growth. All All right, let's have a look at you planting this seed of love. Some of you have had some issues around your health and well-being. At a bit of a crossroads here. Okay, guys, you are a very loyal, dependable love partner, Spirit saying. Girls, there's one coming in here. You just need to be in your high priest, high priestess energy, which is high vibrational. And you need to look at patterns in your life, ways of looking at life in a different way. All right, let's have a look at where Spirit's saying you just need to hold your center right now. Things are trying to happen for you. Possibly going to come across someone new in a love connection that's just not going to be right for you. No. Got the Three of Cups here. There's an invitation to a social event. You might meet someone there, which you kind of think on the surface, oh, they're quite nice. Do they not? You're juggling a lot, time and money. So we're saying don't let that stop you if you get invited to things. You are working really hard on putting money aside for savings. So you're very practical with your money. Let's have a look at this side where Spirit's saying it's time to end a karmic cycle in your life. So focus on connecting with others. Big expansion here. Period of self-discovery. Yeah. Got the Eight of Cups. Leaving all the empty cups behind, all the disappointing experiences. Just going like, I've had enough of that now. Just let it go. Wipe the slate clean. Traveling light. Some of you definitely want to possibly move, relocate, have a fresh start. Go traveling. And Spirit's saying there's things you need to organize first so that you can create this vision for yourself. Clear your schedule, clear things out. Okay, some of you are worrying that you don't have enough money. So there's possibly some deep-seated fears about lack within you as well. It's a choice, Spirit saying. It's a choice for you you can do whatever you want. The choices are there for you. It's almost like asking you, what cup do you want to fill right now? Okay, let's pull you some guidance from the ancient soul tribes. Spirit's saying it's time for you to take a leap of faith on the new. If you want love, then take a leap of faith. If you want to go on a different path, take a leap of faith and just be open and receptive to what comes your way. Don't overthink it. Okay. Spirit's saying part of your learning experience is putting healthy boundaries in place with others, particularly on how they communicate with you. What do you do when somebody tries to shut you down? So instead of trying to avoid conflict and clamming up, how could you have a voice and be heard? And you're divinely protected at this time. I love this for you. So this energy here, which you may open up the door to romance and go on a couple of dates with someone. You may even get intimate with them and then suddenly they're going to explode. Spirit saying rejection is your protection. I think you'll be doing the rejecting, darlings. It's your protection. Could you imagine if you were in a long-term relationship with them and they did that right in the first couple of weeks? Okay. Spirit saying you're the magician. Whatever choice you want to make, whatever you want to do, it's completely up to you. All right, let's put you some guidance from the crystal healing deck. I can hear some of you going, oh, I feel like you're just having a cup of tea with me, or a cup of coffee with me in my lounge room right now. Just feeling like that. Again, Spirit's saying you're divinely protected. So this message about, a focus on how do you relate to others and possibly something that you might want to explore. Again, Spirit's saying it's just something to help you come into more balance. It's not meant to harm you. And you need to step fully into your personal power. When it comes to love, when it comes to the seeds of creation, things you want to do, putting people in their place when it comes to healthy boundaries. You've also got animals here, so you may be getting a pet. You may desire to have a new pet. Definitely going through some emotional healing, it's old stuff in terms of how you grew up mostly. I have done an ebook and masterclass on healing the inner child. There's also some there on managing emotional triggers, I'll put the link in here. Have a look at this. Hello. Part of your life lesson is putting healthy boundaries in place with people. Now, that's very strong boundaries around what makes you happy, what path you want to follow. If you want to go on a solo trip, go on a solo trip. Book it. Tell people later, I'm off. I've made arrangements for whatever you're responsible for in your life, and you're off. Yep, do it. Very saying. Oh, it's part of your healing journey. It's almost like Spirit saying, stop allowing people to tell you what to do. Yeah, there's definitely past life karmic imprints here that you're clearing out. All right, let's put you some guidance from the Nature's Whispers Oracle. Yeah, Spirit's saying it's time for you to open your heart up to love and be vulnerable, to feel safe in that space. Just be mindful that this person down here is a test, because Spirit's saying it's going to remind you of someone you were in a relationship with previously that used to shout you down or yell at you. That's a test. Spirit's going, do you want another one of those? No, right? It's a test. You might go, oh, that wasn't pleasant. Or you're being protected. Spirit's saying that's a test for you to say, no, I don't want that. Some of you need to be a little bit more gentle with yourself, particularly in terms of patterning that's played out, possibly where you've tripped yourself up. Just look at the lesson. And there is a need for you to show your support. So this invitation from friends and family, they really want you there. No matter how busy you are, they really want you there. And you need to amplify your positive emotions. She's paddling in a pond here or a lake with her shoes off. So finding those experiences that really light you up with joy, that bring you back to a state of joy within that inner child. I'll tell you a funny story talking about that, because it reminds me of something I did, right? just randomly being a little wild in nature. I have this beautiful walk I go on, right? It's a nature walk, right? And I can't remember if it was warm weather or not warm weather. But I had bought some, and sometimes the path gets really muddy, right? And so I brought these, what do you call them, like galoshes, or they're like plastic boots that you can go through mud and all sorts of stuff and nothing happens. Someone will put the right word up for me. And I went along my normal path, and I thought, I'm feeling adventurous today. And so you can also, it comes out to a place where you're overlooking the estuary. Beautiful spot, right? But then it's almost like the beach, but it's river. So it's like sandy, white sandy, but it's estuary, right? And there's no other pathways, but you could follow it around. And then when you get around to a certain part of it, there's like a gap between, it's almost like, looks like a little island, but it's really just an inlet. And then you can cross part of the river or the estuary, it's not very wide, to get to the other side and get back on the path from where you originally started, right? And I thought, I might just do that today. I've got these old gum boots, that's what we call them in Australia, gum boot. So, and at different times of the year, the level of water there is different, right? But it's usually only sort of below the knee. Anyway, so I'm thinking, I'm adventurous. I've got my gum boots on. I'm going to try them out. I now realise why people drown when they go like looking for oysters and abalone in gum boots, because I just like went across, and me thinking it looked like, that deep, it wasn't. It was like way over my knees. The gum boots filled up with water, and I'm like, this is where people sink and swim. But it kind of reminds me of, and I was just cacking myself really, because it just brought out my inner child. So my pants not only got wet, gum boots filled up with water. I did get across to the other side quite safely, darlings, but then I had to like empty all the water out. And there's a platform where you can sit behind like a shield and like peer through a space to watch the bird life, right? So it's got a seat there. So I'm sitting there pouring water out and my socks were soaked and squidging everything out, and put my feet back in these gum boots, and they squelched the whole way back to the car. But I thought, well, that was me being funny. That was my inner child coming out to play. Just wanting you to do something like that. All right, let's put you some guidance directly from your spirit guides. Okay, Spirit's saying when it comes to love and opening up to love and opening your heart up to feel vulnerable, just be patient with yourself. It could be a little bit of a, a stepping stone of, you know, allowing yourself to open a bit, then opening a bit more, realizing you're safe, obviously doing it with the right person. There is a need for you to focus and then act. Again, the horse is coming through and the sword. So the horse represents you stepping into personal power. If there's things you want to do, then you are going to have to take charge of the situation, sort things out to free yourself up to do what you want to do. You've also got a dragon here holding this beautiful egg, which represents creativity. So there is a focus on you doing things that are creative. Coming through quite strongly. Oh, and Spirit's saying be without malice. This is part of your emotional healing. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Those of you that have gone through past life karmic imprints all the way back from childhood, and because it can be quite deeply saddening to realize that's imprinted on you through your entire life and affected your relationships, affected your ability to form close relationships. We can then get really angry with our caregivers when we can blame them, right? But really what you've got to remember there is that they had the same thing happen to them from their caregivers. That's how they reflect it, because they learn their relationship patterns and then they teach you those relationship patterns. You witness and model them growing up. And Spirit's saying doing this is not going to serve you, and blaming others is not going to serve you, because often your parents will be quite old by the time you come to this realization. They've probably forgotten anything they did, right? And you probably have a reasonably good relationship with them. Some of you may not, but most of you probably do. And Spirit's saying it's more about your healing journey and you moving through those states and releasing these energies of others and the imprints off yourself versus doing that. Don't do that. And change is unavoidable. It absolutely wants to happen for you right now. A lot of growth going on. Yeah, because there's a new day dawning for you. Brand new fresh start. New life chapter. Be completely different to what you've had before in the past. All right, let's put you some guidance moving forward. It's time for you to take risks and get out of your comfort zone. You've got the eagle here. It's like Spirit saying, I push you from the cliff so you may know yourself. So you're either going to sink or fly, right? Spirit wants you to fly. Time to release limitations around yourself about what's possible. And to take some time out and pleasure. There's really a need for you to enjoy yourself. Okay, you've got standstill here. So there could be some delays in your path, obstacles in your path. It could be that this situation kicks off because you're juggling your time and your energy. So you're not able to catch up. That might tick them right off. But it's going to show you who they are, which is important for you to see. You've got a gateway opening up to the new, a portal opening up to the new. And again, you've got this message to be patient. So you now pull patience twice out of different decks. This is about your healing journey, things you want to do. All right, let's pull your crowning energy from the beautiful Pegasus Oracle. Oh, of course. Of course you pulled this one. Oh, have a look at it. You pull the Pegasus of the rainbow light. So after the storm, here comes the rainbow. Number 11 represents new beginnings. Now, this deck's by Lana Fairchild, by the way. Love her oracle decks. It says, Taurus, the genius of the soul is such it understands how to grow wisdom out of suffering. It means our challenges are opportunities for our soul to heal. Through soul growth, we become wiser, more compassionate, clear, loving, kind, and free within our hearts to feel connected, yet independent. We discover an inner reserve of peace, irrespective of what is taking place in our lives. The Pegasus of the rainbow light flies into your life to let you know that you're growing. The issues in your life are not a sign that you're doing something wrong, but rather that you are courageous and healing. You can outgrow the suffering you're now experiencing, but the only way for this to occur is to engage with it and steadily find your way through it. You're on the rainbow path of spiritual progress. The path may lead you into issues you thought you resolved or awareness of previous unconscious suffering. Do not turn away. You have divine blessing and the courage and wisdom to successfully process any issue in your own way and time. Beneficial outcomes will eventually emerge, even if you find it hard to have faith in that right now. Remember, rainbows reveal themselves after the storm. As for that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, Pegasus, the guardian who ensures that you stay faithful to your spiritual calling, is guiding you towards ample reward. Trust your path and your process. In time, your heart shall recognize the blessing you've brought forth for yourself. Relief, increased happiness, and blessings are predicted. Oh, so beautiful. All right, those are your messages. If you enjoyed this reading, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. If you do need extra guidance and support with a personal reading, reach out. Booking links on here and down below. And for now, much love, much light. Namaste.